A number of people have been disappointed by the outcome of Copenhagen, but you've said that there are a lot of reasons for optimism in what was agreed there. Can you describe what those reasons for optimism are?
It was disappointing in many ways, but we've got to recognise that in the agreement that came out at the end, the Copenhagen Accord, that agreement contains a lot that really matters and is of substance. The 2 degrees centigrade, for example, we usually mean 50-50 chance of 2 degrees centigrade because there are no certainties in this area and there's lots of risk and uncertainty. But that is something that would involve, and I think it was recognised, would involve very substantial cuts in emissions and is a sensible target, and that would be 2 tonnes per capita for the world as a whole in 2050 relative to about 7 tonnes per capita now. So out of a 2 degrees centigrade statement, which has generally been welcomed, you actually get specific quite quickly, and then you can ask yourself the question, given the statements have been put on the table about emissions and the future of emissions, which is part of the accord with the January 31st deadline, and as we speak it's early February, more than 60 countries have made their submissions, comprising getting on for 80% of world emissions. So the 2 degrees tells us where we should be. The Copenhagen Accord submissions promise tells us where we're going, and so we're in a position to compare. And we may be, if everybody went to the top end of what the ranges that they've promised, where they've indicated ranges, we probably would be around 48, 49 billion tonnes in 2020, not so very different from where we are now, so we would have peaked. Where we should really be around 44, so we can start talking about how that gap could be bridged.
You've described India as the genuine low-carbon economy of all of the major players in the negotiations. What's the reason for that description? What is it that's happening in India that's so impressive?
Describing India as low-carbon economy is describing where India is now, and well below 2 tonnes per capita of CO2 equivalent per annum. China about 6, Europe, Japan 10, 11, 12, United States, Australia, Canada well over 20 tonnes per capita. That's a low-carbon economy in that very clear and objective sense, it seems to me. If you look actually emissions per unit of output, India is really quite